All right, I'm gonna try this again.
Perfect, we can see it now.
Beautiful. And if I could just ask if you're not speaking to please mute. Excellent. So as I mentioned, what are the solutions to this disparity overall? Talk a little bit about education. So not everyone has a real estate license, of course. Not everyone has a financial coach. Not everyone has access in terms of their circle, their inner circle, their family, their friends. And so, you know, that's all the ways that folks can be educated. Google is great, but it's also nice to have people you can talk to, right? The other thing is access to funds. So, you know, I'm a homeowner now, but one of the things that I've been looking to do is also become an investor. And I've seen tons and tons of groups that don't necessarily fit me per se, but where you can go and just find these, you know, investors that, you know, have money to share, but it's very hard to get into these networks and access these groups. So other than just saving your money or coming up with a pool of funds with a bunch of friends or family, you know, how else can people, women, access the funds needed so that they can take that step? Because as you all know, real estate is one of the few, if not only, you know, investments or areas that you can focus on if you're really looking to create wealth for yourself, if you're looking to solidify your retirement plan, if you're looking to provide support for your children for college and generations to come. So how do we gain access to that? So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And then the last piece is really around support. Again, I'm all for networking. If I've met most of you, it's probably through some type of networking, either online, social media, or other groups. And I think it's great, regardless of, you know, your background or what your focus is, what your business is. If I'm buying makeup products, if I'm buying candles, if I'm looking for auto insurance, I'm always looking to promote other people, especially women, you know, whether it's in my own personal network or if it's my professional network, social, and events such as this. So definitely want to get into a little bit of that conversation. But speaking of support, I wanted to give Rachel an opportunity just to talk a little bit about her business. Oops. So, Rachel, I will hand it over to you. I just included a couple of slides with some of the products that you oversee within your business, but take it away.
No problem. Thank you so much, Prina. And it's such an honor to be a guest speaker here. So like she mentioned, I am a financial coach. I help women and families and entrepreneurs, take care of their finances and how to save money, how to invest money, and how to have generational wealth for their children to come in the future and so on. One of the things that Prina just mentioned about investments that goes hand in hand in both real estate and finance is very, very important. You definitely want to have assets for yourself or your family. That's very important to have. One of the things about being a homeowner and having your assets and your money protected is also understanding the financial game as well as the real estate game. Like she mentioned, the education is there. It's all there, but it's who you talk to, where can you get it, and who's going to take you further and help you and direct you to where you want to go and where you want to be. So my services extend from legal services, income replacement, which is life insurance, auto and home coverage, home security, business security. If you are a business owner, a small business owner, you have a building, yeah, I'm able to provide you with business security as well. Recently, my company has branched out to doing senior healthcare for the elderly 65 and older, which is pretty awesome. And as well as identity theft protection. All those things, they cost money. But because of my partnership with the companies I work with, which is Vivint, Answer Financial, Legal Shield, and so much more, especially with the investment options such as AIG and everything. And it's so important to understand that money is going to help you achieve your goals a lot sooner if you understand how to take care of your money, understand how to change your money habits for the better. I know we've all heard the saying that, oh, money's the root of all evil. That is not true. It's what you do with money. If you're not doing good things, then of course it's going to be the root of all evil. If you're focusing on taking care of yourself, take care of your family, and investing so you can have a dignified retirement, then you're doing great things with your money, and you can also give back to your community. So those are some of the services I provide for, like I mentioned, women, families, and entrepreneurs. Understand the money game, understand their needs, find out where they're at and where they want to be the next few years, and help them get to that point. And I stick with them along the way. And so that's another thing as well. It's always a personal one-on-one connection. You're not going to be able to, like, you're not you're not going to be able to, but you won't be directed to somebody else after talking to me. It's always, you have my number, I'm here when you need me. And that's a personal connection. And that's what you want. You want someone who's going to help you directly, as opposed to just call this number and so will help you after you've already been helped, like they do when you, I don't know, for any services, right? When you call the bank or when you have an appointment, you're always talking to different people, right? And so with Prina being in real estate and with myself being in finances, it's always a direct contact with our clients, and we're always the go-to person to help them with all of their needs. And so thank you again, Prina, for giving me the moment to talk to everyone.
Thanks, Rachel. Are you guys still able to see my screen? Just a quick check.
Yes.
Perfect. Rachel, if you don't mind, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So I'm not shy about sharing my age. I just turned 46 in the summer. And admittedly, when, 20 years ago, or even 26 years ago, I wasn't thinking about this. It felt like I had forever. And to be honest, my 20s took a long time. By the time I hit 30, I went to sleep, I woke up, and then I was in my 40s. But my 20s, it felt like a big chunk of time. And I kept saying next year, next year, next year when it comes to savings and, companies that I worked with that had 401k matches and whatnot. So admittedly, I started a little bit later in life. So what would be your recommendation for someone who's, 35 plus or even 40 plus, who might be starting over, or maybe they were in a situation where they were a single parent or had, elderly parents to look after and just really couldn't focus on their finances. And now they wake up and they realize, I want to retire in 20, 25 years. I don't have a savings. Is it too late for them?
It is not too late for them. And that is actually a great question. Part of being one-on-one with my clients is that I'm able to provide them is what is called a financial needs analysis. Everyone's financial needs are different. So the financial needs analysis is customized. It generates where you want to retire. So if you say, oh, I want to retire in like 10, 15, 20 years, no problem. We plug that in there. How much you want to put away for your savings? How much life insurance coverage are you looking for? Are you in great health so you can get the best coverage of your life insurance? And all this other intangible things that can benefit you so you can have a better and dignified retirement. And so we look at all that, and then the financial analysis relieves all that and lets you know, like, well, you're here and this is how much you need to be here. So there's something that's called, especially when it comes to investing, maybe some of you have heard about it, but there's something that's called the banker's rule. It's where you take the number 72 and you divide your rate of return from your investment, if you have one already, to see what that is already giving you and how much it will double every few years. So if you divide 3 into 72, that's 40 years. So if Prina had $10,000 that she wanted to invest, that means her money will double in 20 years. And I'm sorry, so every 20 years. So she'll have $20,000 by then. But then in another 40 years, then she'll have about 40,000. That's not enough to retire on. You want an investment rate of return that's as much as 9%, 12%, or above. And so with my business, we have, we always say you buy term and invest the difference. We do not bundle packages for our clients because it's better that way and it saves them more money. So if you want to focus on investing, then that's no problem at all. We could get you in front of a licensed investment broker, and they will help you with that to start your investments. And investments can start as low as $25. And that's totally fine because you can increase it later on. Because we always say you want to start with something rather than nothing. So if you earn more money, you get a raise or whatever, you want to increase your investment, that's fine. You could do that. It's your money. Go ahead and do it. Just let us know and we'll help you do that. And so, but it's never too late. It's never too early to start, but it can be too late if you never start. So if you want to have a dignified retirement, if you have children that are young and you want to put money away so they could go to college, or if you just want to go back to school yourself, you can do that and just get the investment going for yourself. And if you're a small business owner and you're looking to expand, but you want to save more money, having an investment is another way to go as well. So understanding the rule of 72 and understanding how money can work for you while you're working is definitely something I would be able to help you ladies understand.
Thanks, Rachel. That's really helpful. I like the term dignified retirement.
Oh yeah, that's what we want.
That's my takeaway for tonight. Thank you so much. So
Very well.
We're going to have Aditi take us through her business. Aditi, feel free to unmute.
Cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. And are you still able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone. I'm Aditi. I also really like that term, dignified retirement. Something that one of my girlfriends told me maybe like 2 years ago was like, in order for us to have generational wealth, like you have to have multiple lines of income or multiple lines of revenue. And so the first time I heard that, I was like, whoa, you're so right. And so about a year and a half ago now, 2 years, I got furloughed from my job, similar to like most other folks during that time, during COVID. And I was like, who am I? I don't know who I am. Outside of my ad tech job, myself and Prina work in our day job at the same company. And so Prina and I know each other through that, and we understand that world as well. There is definitely a lot to be talked about in terms of diversity as we see it in the workforce across many industries. But I think from our perspective, there is still a lot of work to be done in advertising and ad tech in itself. And what happened to me was I was so involved in my day job that once I felt it was taken away from me, I was like, oh, who am I? I don't even know who I am. And so I decided to create a name for myself. And by doing that, I had always long-term made candles with my friends. I was one of those kids who was in like a lofted apartment with like my 5 or 6 friends in Brooklyn, and for the last 6 years. And so sometimes you randomly order arts and crafts projects to your apartments and you do them all together. So that's the inception of this. But once I wanted to figure out who is Aditi, and I decided I wanted to create a brand for myself, and I created candles. And so during the pandemic, I started shopaditi.com, which is where I sell candles. And those candles are like non-toxic, vegan, all of the good things that you'd want to hear. I hand mix my coconut wax and my soy wax, and I have a 65-pound wax melter. And I set up shop in my parents' basement, and it's been going well ever since. So in 1 year, I've been able to get around like 700 customers, and it's just continuously growing by word of mouth. And I think there was a few things that led to like being able to do this. One thing was specifically branding. Prina, I think I might have had a second slide, right? Cool. Yeah. So if you see like the elements of my brand here, you have 2 women. And one of the first things that the designers who I worked with asked me was describe a DT in 3 words. And so I said, okay. And I think that we're all multiplicit in nature. I think, we're all an orchestra full of DTs waiting to play the instrument at hand for whatever audience that serves it. So I said something like, I'm earthy, meaning like the account management side of me, the person who wants to like help people, help them succeed. And I'm an account manager at work. So that's where I kind of got that. And then there's quirky, So quirky was like, I can be like, I can make the comments and like I'll be the friend who tells people, what I'm feeling without any sort of filter. And then I said skillful. I said skillful would be my last trait that I describe myself as, because I want to like, I like creating things with my hands and I find myself to be skillful. And so they said, okay. And they showed me these images of like what earthy as a brand would look like, or what skillful as a brand would look like, or what quirky would look like. And they made me choose one of them. And we went through a series of like 8 cycles of these like branding exercises. And through it, we were able to identify like, okay, there's like reflection. So you see the 2 women in the brand who are like reflecting off of one another and they're pouring the candles. And then you have like the light, and like, that light is a big part of it. And then you have a DT, that's my name, but then you also have the Thummel version of that brand on the bottom there of that logo, where that's my background. So I'm a South Indian woman. I am from place in South India, and I speak Tamil, which is a Sanskrit derived language. And so that's how you write my name in Tamil. And so I wanted to show that like, hey, I'm an Indian girl, but I'm also an American girl, but like we can be all of these things and more. So, and I think, I don't know if I added another slide, Brina.
No, this.
No, but if you go back one slide, then I can show you guys. So what I did was create these, each candle has its own sun. So each sun is representative of a different place in a part of South India that reminds me of like our culture. So we have Madras summer, which is like mango and coconut milk. And then you also have things like Twilight Moss, which is that one on the top left-hand corner, which is oak moss and amber, which is more of like my kind of exploring my like, I'm not Indian, but I'm not American, this like part of me too. But my sister's name is Surya and she has really long hair. And so the girls, when represented, they actually become Aditi and Surya, and Surya means sun. And so all of the suns are represented. And then I wanted to bring my parents in it too. So the candles that you see on the far right-hand side with the blue and like the red, those are my Amma and Appa candles. And if you look on my website and look closer, you'll see that the dad is giving the mom the rose, and that's a rose candle. Another one smells like rainwater. So that's me. I wanted to share a little bit about me. And, I think as it relates to real estate, someone once told me that if you light a candle, like a banana nut bread or something like that inside a home, and like before the renter, the people are coming to like check it out, then they have a more affinity to that home or something. So branding is everything. And if anyone on this call or wants to create their own, candle brand or like some sort of gifts that you want to have for people in your home, and you want to make it about part of your brand, here's one thing I'll say. When you gift someone something, that gift should represent the relationship that you have with them. So if, I'd be more than happy if you guys went to shopadici.com and bought your clients these specific candles. But how much more valuable would it be if like you, Prina, right, or anyone else on this call, if you had your own kind of like aesthetic or your brand or your smell, so that smell ultimately is like lingering in that home that you've built them, or like you're delivering to them, then maybe next time they are looking for a home, there might be some recall memory there. So like smell can be powerful, but ultimately when you guys do gift giving, that's a part of your brand. And I think it's an opportunity for you guys to make an lasting relationships. And maybe it doesn't apply at all. But anyways, I appreciate this. And thank you so much for inviting me here, Prina. Thank you.
Thanks, DT. That was great. And I don't know if you guys are able to see the cameras still, or if it's just the presentation from your view. you guys able to see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
We can see
All
you.
right, well, I'm gonna plug Aditi's candle business because I'm a big
I
fan.
saw that in the back.
And I have the oak moss amber, and it's incredible. It's such a clean burn. I never have to trim the wick. And I usually, I mean, I'm in this room like 12 hours a day. So it's definitely my favorite. And I love candles. I've tried a few places. This is probably the cleanest burning candle that I own. So
Thank you, Rena. I spent about 700 hours during the pandemic watching candles melt because candles are a science. So you have to find the right wick, the right wax, and the right amount of fragrance oil for each combination to like make it smell, but also do that thing where it lowers like that. So I love to see that. I love when people call it out too. So thanks so much for that shout out.
Absolutely. And I mean, I could spend the remaining time that we have just talking about that, but I know we started a little bit late and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So I'm going to go ahead and wind things down. But again, just to kind of circle back, and I'm so grateful for those of you that could join. Rachel, thank you so much. Aditi, thank you as well. I think at this point, you know, if you guys want to go ahead and share any contact information in the chat, that would be more than fine. I will make this video available to folks in just a couple of hours, so you'll have access to come back. And then next week, we'll have part 2. I'll have a different group of co-hosts with me, but everyone on this call is more than welcome to join. You can go to sunaventures.com and sign up for next week's session, which is going to be just as exciting. We'll probably spend a little bit more time talking real estate. Juanita, who's on the call today, will be co-hosting as well. So she'll tell us a little bit about her business. But I truly believe that this is the first step in terms of closing those gaps and really being able to help others get to, you know, to the point where they're successful, whatever that means for them, which is different for everyone. And so, you know, if anyone has any thoughts or last questions, just ideas, or just want to share anything, I'll open it up if you want to unmute yourself and just share your thoughts.
I'm curious to know, Prina, if we can do a quick like round of the folks who are on the call and maybe like tell us a little bit about themselves if they're feeling comfortable.
Well, I know Juanita's driving, and then we also have Stacy on, and Zanelle, who's actually an agent within my brokerage at Exit. So no pressure if you want to speak or just say hi or just type in the comments. But yeah, most of the ladies I know from the Zanelle and Stacy through the real estate business. So
Cool. No pressure.
Juanita as well. Yeah. So
Awesome.
again, here's, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. So I am like very new to the real estate business, and I am still in the process of just getting set up and acclimated. So I am trying my best to, you know, see everything that's out there, learn as much as I can, and all of this information was very, very useful. And it's good that, you know, you guys provide your YouTube and links, websites, or whatever you have, so that, you know, I can follow up. And I did learn a lot, so I will definitely go and check out your websites and whatever content you have available out there. And thank you again.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, ladies. Well, I am going to end here. Again, thank you so much for your time. I will make this video available to everyone. And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me. Rachel, if you're interested in anything financial, and Aditi, if you would love one of her candles. So thanks again. Appreciate you all and have a great evening.
Thanks, Suna Ventures.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.